I love learning, but I also kinda hate it. My name is Chris. I am an air transportation student based in the Philippines. And on this channel, I want to bring you along my journey of learning through about aviation, sciences, and just a general quenching of curiosity. Today, I will talk about my passion project, which I will be naming Polaris after the, North Star that navigators throughout history used to, navigate. This idea was conceived when I was thinking of a thoughtful gift for my girlfriend. I reevaluated several aspects and tried to think of which of those aspects I can provide value for. And then I figured we're both aviation students, and one day we're planning to take up flight school to become a pilot. So I was able to narrow it down already. I was like, hey, what if I add value to this aspect of her life? That's why we're here. In case you didn't know, I'm not a product of generational wealth, nor am I a forerunner of an international drug cartel. I don't have tons of cash to burn, just put her through flying schools. Flying school is expensive. I didn't have that money. With that limitation, I was pretty much challenged. That's when my creativity was tested. And that's when I thought of Polaris. I started with the core function of being able to gamify knowledge. So what kind of knowledge? Well, since we're both in aviation, we're planning to take up flight school, anything related to that. What more? Let's narrow it down. I was able to narrow it down to the fundamental theoretical knowledge every single fucking pilot needs. And luckily enough, the most prominent and most used resource on this was free on the web. It's called the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge. It's written by the FAA, or the Federal Aviation Administration. That's one major core function down, which is be able to give out free knowledge. Now I had to deal with the second part, which was the gamification of that knowledge. To be honest, I don't really have that much knowledge on gamification and serious games and all of that. I only know that it's a thing. So I started from scratch, back to basics. I enrolled myself in a gamification course to know what makes it tick, so that I have a robust foundation on how to properly apply it. So with that in mind, I wanted to be catered to Pat's attitude. I want her to be able to use it and provide value for her. So I thought about how she likes her games, or her attitude towards games, or within the game itself. Luckily, we've been playing a lot of online games recently, like Valorant, GTA 5,
That means it's already set up to take Rishkovsky out of the country.
Pacify,
Pat, iligtas mo naman kami.
Sige, pagkakalap ka ng manok, ang bilis niyo.
all that jazz. And I learned 3 key concepts about her. 1, she's competitive. She hates unrated games. In Valorant, she loves competitive games because, she's competitive. And in GTA 5, she loves gambling. I also recognize that. She just randomly says, like, oh, tara, pustahan tayo. Something like that. So that stuck with me. And finally, she really enjoys playing with games. With those 3 in mind, like a fucking conspiracy theorist, gone a couple of days without sleep and just, running on caffeine or like energy drinks, I was able to piece together. I had my eureka moment. I thought of the specifics of Polaris itself. By connecting gamification knowledge and like what I know about my partner and, just the general aviation shit, I plan to make a serious game that goes through each chapter of the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge. So that's a shit ton of chapters. And basically each chapter is your tier list or like your level, and you gain points and you level up by reading parang lecture notes, ganun, and then getting quizzed on that certain chapter. So you gain points based on how well you performed, and this just goes on for each chapter. But the thing is, you don't only get quizzed for that chapter. Like, let's say you're on chapter 5 and you made some consistent mistakes back in chapter 1 or 2, and these mistakes come up in the quizzes in chapter 5. So it just drills you into getting the correct answer. And this is largely based on the forgetting curve and the spaced repetition technique, which I have mentioned in my newsletter. If you haven't seen that, please subscribe to that newsletter as well. This is my way of employing the spaced repetition technique. And to tap into the motivation of the user, aka Pat, it will be competitive in a sense that you get to play with your friends and you get to bet against them. Like, who wins by getting the most number of correct answers for each chapter. Play with your friend and say, hey, you think you can score better than me in chapter 1? And your friend's just like, hell yeah, you dumb bitch. No, they don't say that. Friends don't say it. Yeah, I think I can do better than you. Wanna bet? And by doing so, you actually bet in-game credits. And while I still don't know how to add monetary value to it, but I don't plan to. Basically, these game credits just allow you to purchase stuff on the in-game store. Maybe, I don't know, airline uniforms. I don't know, because you're gonna have an avatar and leaderboards and stuff. I can't quite articulate it, but I hope you imagine it. I hope you can have an idea of how it looks like or how it's gonna function. And I don't know, while this project is still so young and it's still in its early days, it's literally been like just a month since I started this project. I think I've benefited a lot from it already. I was able to regain my drive in learning in a sense that I'm once again enjoying the process of learning, and I'm constantly out there to seek for new and more learning experiences, and I think it's really beautiful because I haven't felt this way in such a long time. I know for myself that I still have a lot to know and learn to be able to provide value for this passion project. But instead of being discouraged, I actually feel hungrier or more inspired to learn instead of getting discouraged. Yeah, I said that already. So yeah, I guess my thirst for knowledge has been reignited, and I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, thanks for sitting here and listening to me ramble about my passion project. If you want to be the first to get updates on my learning process, learning journey, you can subscribe to this channel. And if you want more exclusive content, you can also subscribe to my newsletter, Dare to Know. All of the relevant links would be in the description down below. If you've reached this part of the video, I want to say thank you. I hope you have a nice day. See you next month.